Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street, starting from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing the most in trade today. We'll also get you expert views to find out where exactly are opportunities emerging for you as an equity investor. But first up, a quick check as to how the markets are doing. Well, it's a very solid day of trade, a bazooka closing for this series expiry. We are seeing the Nifty which has already scaled Mount 19K, 18,981 currently, 165 points up in trade, about 0.8% of a move on the upside. The Sensex up by almost 600 points in today's trading session, a 0.8% move right here as well, and 63,965. But we've seen that 64,000 mark also being breached on the top by the Sensex. Markets record high. The Nifty Bank has hit the record high levels as well. The broader markets are aiding the support, half odd percent of a move on the upside for the mid caps, and the small cap 100 index also up by 0.35%. A broad based rally with all the sectors of the Nifty also higher in trade. The metals are doing very well at this point in time, about a 1.5% move on that one. Talk about the IT space, the banks, the financial services and the PSU banks. All of them are supporting the sentiments in today's trading session as well. Let's also look at some of the stocks that are actually looking very promising on the Nifty index. Then today, if you look at the kind of move that you're seeing on the Adani Group stocks amid the block deals and the sentiment boosters coming in for that one. Stocks like Adani Enterprises topping the Nifty charts, about 5% up in trade. Adani Ports up by almost 4.5%. From the metals packets, JSW Steel shining bright at 3% higher, 1185 levels. Tata Motors definitely at 52-week high levels, 2.6% up in trade today. Titan from the Tata Group also higher in trade by almost 2.5%. From the power pack, you can see NTPC also inching higher in trade. Whole host of sectors supporting with their stocks coming up on the screens. You have banks, you have pharma stocks, you have metal stocks and the Adani Group stocks all inching higher in trade today. Vis-a-vis, let's look at if there are any losers right now. There were about 3 or 4 losers in the first half of the trading action. HDFC Life, of course, amid the block deals, and therefore you can see that pressure coming in on the stock. Tech Mahindra, Hero MotoCorp up by down by almost 1% in trade. Apollo Hospitals, M&M and Wipro are the kind of stocks that are still down in trade. But let's welcome our guest on the show. Ruchit Jain joins in. He's the lead research analyst at 5paisa. Welcome, Ruchit, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Many congratulations. We've seen that finally happening, the 19,000 mark that we've been waiting out for. Ahead of your expectations, or right on your charts, it was there that it will happen today?
Yes, hi, very good afternoon, Sakshi. Well, firstly, let me congratulate you as well as all your viewers, for achieving this 19,000 mark. And I think certainly the kind of momentum that we had picked up, since last 3 months, right from the start of April, it's quite a good achievement that we have seen in a very short period of time. The way we have seen that the market had seen some very sharp corrections, especially the mid caps and the small caps before the month of March. I think no one would have thought that 19,000 would achieve so soon. But I think the large caps have supported quite good, and primarily the good thing is the part of this rally is that it's not that only some of the heavyweights are lifting the markets higher. It's the entire broad market participation which is going on. You look at the mid cap stocks, you look at the small cap stocks, good amount of volume action has been seen over there. So primarily whenever we see new highs which have been supported by a broad market participation, that's actually a sign of a real strength that is going on in the market.
Absolutely. Which is the song that comes to your mind when you saw that 19,011 hitting the screen on your laptop?
So frankly, not only me, most of the market participants would be thinking that कब से था तुम्हारा इंतजार.
Wonderful. Now, it's just that, investors are hungry for more. We're all hungry for more. After 19,000, all eyes are now on 20,000 and we are more greedy now. Whether that'll happen this year is something that we would want to know. What do your charts suggest? Are we topping out, or we do see some more legs to this rally now?
So it's actually importantly, rather than just throwing a figure or a timing, I think what investors should see that how much time that we have taken or when has this rally started. So 18,000 we had already seen last I think 2.5 years back, right, during the month of October 2021. so almost 21 months. So funds from October 2021 to this March 2023, markets had seen a long consolidation phase in which the index did not correct much. We witnessed all-time high no, after that also. But portfolio-wise, if you see, then the mid-caps and the small-cap stocks were in a corrective phase since October 2021 till March 2023. So almost 18 months of corrective phase that was seen. So after the 18 months of corrective phase, we have seen a resumption of the uptrend where the renewed buying interest can be seen. And 18 months is good enough for completion of a bear market also. Even if you look at the 2020 correction, 2020 was a bit exceptional. But even if you look at the correction which was seen in 2008, so all the bear markets take so much time to complete. So I think that corrective phase is over if you look some mid to long term perspective. And after that corrective phase is over, we have started this rally since the month of April 2023. So we have just completed 3 months into this uptrend which has just started. So I think uptrends usually last much longer than the bear markets, right? So I think still quite a few milestones we will be achieving going ahead in next 6 to 12 months. So I think 20,000, of course, it's quite achievable, and we should go much higher than that also.
Okay, much higher than that also possible, and we should definitely hope to see 20,000 also coming in. But which are the themes that you would now be betting on, and which kind of stocks that you would be, for all those investors who may be wanting to take an entry over here, they might be very scared and very, very cautious as to which are the exact stocks and sectors should they be now getting bullish on. Where are you going to suggest them to keep their focus?
So I think capital goods would be the one segment where we are expecting this uptrend to continue. So much of the sectoral strength comes from the bear markets only, and even during the corrective phases, we witnessed that the capital goods segment was continuing to witness a good to show some good outperformance relatively. So stocks such as Larsen and Toubro, ABB, I think these are some of the couple of names from the capital goods sector which we expect would continue to deliver good returns going ahead, and a lot of buying interest has been seen in PSU names. So after a long period of time, we have seen that the PSU stocks showing such kind of outperformance that we have seen in last few months, especially the high dividend yielding stocks, those stocks which are giving good dividend yield, trading around their book values. So I think those stocks have witnessed good buying interest, and that outperformance could continue going ahead as well. So within this space, I think PFC, REC would be the stocks where we expect good outperformance. NTPC is one of the stock which has not performed yet. The stock has just now given a breakout from a long consolidation phase. So I think these are the few names where the move could continue. And of course, not to forget the banking sector, which usually acts as a leader whenever the market goes up. And we believe that a lot of mid-cap banking stocks, the private sector mid-cap banking stocks such as Karnataka Bank is there. So I think such names would tend to give good outperformance. Large caps would take the leadership, but I think some of the mid-cap names would tend to give good outperformance in this market.
Right. I'm glad that you pointed out about large caps because, in the kind of run up that we've seen from the recent lows that the Nifty had made in March of 2023, from that time until now, we've actually seen the large caps really underperform. The usual heavyweight counters that pull up the index did not really participate. Stocks like Reliance Industries, for example, today it's up by 1.3%, 25.29. HDFC Twins, for example, they have not really participated, or an ICICI Bank, they have not really participated. Do you think the second half of the calendar year will see them also do the heavy lifting?
Yes, I think there's a lot of scope left in these names because if you see market is trading at 19,000 levels, but Reliance is much below its all-time high. ICICI Bank has not shown any no significant up move, although it has not corrected also, but not that kind of up move that we usually see in an uptrend whenever the stock takes leadership. So even some of the other banking names which are there, so no, we have not seen that kind of outperformance coming from them. So I think this leaves a lot of room for them to take the market further higher from current levels, and that's why I was saying that the 20,000 number I think could be another milestone from 19,000 to 20,000. But ideally, if these heavyweights start participating, which are much below their 52 weeks highs or all-time highs still, then I think that would lift the indices further higher.
Yeah, but like you pointed out, from 19K to 20K, how long will that take? It has taken about 21 months from 18,000 to 19,000. Will that be faster or no?
Of course, I think that would be faster because what happens that in this 18 months or 21 months, I would say, which it has taken from October 2021. So in these 21 months, we have seen a completion of a bear market as well. If you
Yeah.
look at caps and the small cap stocks. So what would happen that when it was a bear market, that's why it took so long. But no, since this is a renewed bull market which it is going on, so generally when as the bull market matures, the time taken for an up move reduces, goes on reducing. And when we reach the bull market top, the phase where the moment is where everything goes higher. So I think that's where the shortest period of time is taken for the market to go up. So ideally, this is just the start of an up move. So I think it would be much lower than the 21 months period which we have just taken.
Okay, understood that. So, Rujit, what about the Adani Group stocks? They are on a higher today. Of course, there are some triggers, big block deals taking place. There is an indication that $1 billion of equity has, changed hands again. And in fact, we've seen perhaps GQG could be one which has done this third round of big buying coming in the Adani Group stocks. Do you think the second half of this calendar year will be fairly better for these stocks and they may finally resume their uptrend?
I think a lot of news-based movement is there in this stocks. So I would no, I advise to be very specific within this group
Okay.
because no, it's not that all the stocks, the kind of rally that we had seen before that Hindenburg report came in, the kind of rally which we had seen in most all the Adani stocks, I don't think that phase would come again in the very short to medium term. So it
Okay.
would take a time for that process to build up, and I think within that time, so no, some of the stocks would tend to show outperformance first. So I think Adani Ports within this group looks much stronger than other names. So
Mm-hmm.
rather than just betting on some of the names which are trading at lower levels compared to their all-time highs or which are not performed in this pullback move in last few months, I would rather stay away from those names and I would be very selective in going long on Adani stocks.
Okay. With the merger now impending of the big financial behemoth HDFC Bank, there is a lot of speculation going on as to which name will actually replace HDFC now on the Nifty and the Sensex. A lot of names being thrown around there as well. Any particular guesses there?
I think I've heard about LTI Mindtree that there's a possibility of LTI Mindtree coming in, considering that this is there in FNO as well. So I think it could be that name, which could replace, SDFC, in this in the Nifty 50 index.
Okay, but then now that you talk about LTI Mindtree, what the question that really comes to mind is the worst of the IT fall behind us now? How should one really approach this pack now in the second half?
So it's actually what we have seen that IT space, corrected very significantly because the Nasdaq was in a corrective phase, and we were following the Nasdaq index. When the markets rallied higher, the banking took the leadership. And recently, what happened? The Infosys results disappointed, due to which the IT heavyweights took a beating, and we have seen that IT heavyweights are still in that consolidation phase. But in this result season, the mid cap stocks delivered better results, and that's why we have seen many of the mid cap names showing a good outperformance compared to the large cap IT stocks. So I think as far as large cap stocks are concerned, market participants may wait for one more quarter results, maybe next quarter results when these heavyweights, Infosys, TCS would announce. So that would bring more clarity whether these stocks have bottomed out or not. Till then, we may see some consolidation continue to going on. But yes, some of the names from the mid cap basket, I think, which have shown very good price volume action, there we expect the outperformance to continue. So for large caps, I think if you are really a very long term investor who has a time horizon of 3 years or more, then this correction could be a good opportunity to pick stocks such as either TCS or HCL Tech, even where the relative strength is being seen within the large cap IT space. But if one is looking from a short term time horizon, then I think no next quarterly results would no give much more clarity.
Okay, understood that as well. Well, Richard, at the end, any particular stocks that you'd like to highlight for all our viewers? Any specific stocks where you're turning bullish now for a near to medium term? Where should investors keep their focus, and where are the opportunities to bag good returns?
I think pharma has been one space where we have seen good up move in last few weeks, and within this space, the large cap Sun Pharma is one stock where no, technically the breakout has been seen today. So a lot of catch-up move is left in Sun Pharma, which gives a good scope for short-term traders to get into the stock. A good price volume action has been seen off late, so I think the worst seems to be factored in this stock as of now. So at current levels, if one is looking from a short-term perspective, then with a stop loss below 980, one can go long on Sun Pharma for targets around 1080.
All right, understood that. Well, thank you so much, Ruchit, for being with us on the show and discussing all these insights with all our viewers. Great to have you on this historic trading session for the Indian markets too. 500 points higher for the Sensex even now, 63,918. We're off that 64,000 mark, but markets are still not giving up. There are no particular signs of huge profit booking taking place, which is the usual trend which we see, that when the markets reach their all-time highs, immediately there's a pullback and you see profits being taken off the table. Not so much as of now. 157 points higher even for the Nifty at 18,975 currently, on the Nifty index. But we'll keep an eye out on how the markets really take shape. Tomorrow market being off on account of a holiday, we will resume trade on Friday, and until then you should stay tuned on to Business Today TV to catch all the updates from the world of business and stock markets. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra, and with me somebody very, very special. Professor Chakrabarti joins in. He is the Dean at IIM Calcutta. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time out for this discussion.
My pleasure.
Well, this is an interview which a lot of youngsters would